I've been going back and forth on whether I should make this video because I do feel bad for the owner, but here it goes. These two machines might look familiar because I did videos on them last year. They've been done since last year. They're still here and I still haven't gotten paid. This over here is a Kawasaki Lakota 300. Ended up going through the top end on this thing. New cylinder, new piston, carb kit. Had to do a lot of electrical because it had a lot of problems. The rear end on this thing was seized up so bad, and what I mean by that is the chain was loose, so I had to turn this, and it was seized up so bad. I pulled it all apart, and I finally got it turning. So I adjusted it, got that working. Went through, got the brakes working on it because I don't think it had any brakes. I can't remember now. This right here, this is a nice bike. This is a 2008, I believe it is. Yamaha Venture Royal Star 1300. It is a V4 shaft drive bike. Sounds great, but when it first got here, it was popping. You know, she didn't sound so great. This has got 4 carburetors, and the jets were all screwed up when I looked at them. I bought 4 carb kits for this thing, put them in there, got it running way better. Also, it needed a clutch. The clutch was slipping bad, so we went ahead, brand new clutch in it. The brakes were on their last legs, new discs, new pads. Same on the rear. And the rear is actually quite a job to do that because you have to remove the tire, shaft drive, unbolt it all, unbolt these sides, and then you can finally get it out of there. Then you can change everything. New plugs and probably some other stuff that I'm forgetting. But anyways, this bike was done last September. The guy wanted to pick this up before the four-wheeler so he could do some riding before winter, obviously. And we finally got to the four-wheeler. That was finished in November. And, well, they're both still here. The Yamaha had like a $1,200 bill on it, and the Kawasaki was around $700. So it was about $1,900 for the pair of these things. I think in parts alone, I spent like $700–800 on the Yamaha, and I don't know, it was a few $100s on the Lakota that I paid out of pocket, you know. I didn't take any money down on these things. This guy's a couple hours south of me. I tried reaching out in November, telling him, you know, this thing was outside. This was in the garage, I think. But no, maybe this was outside too. I don't know. But this thing was covered in snow. I said, you might want to come get it before, you know, we get too much snow. And we were trying to meet up together, and it just didn't work out that weekend. Anyways, I didn't hear from him for several months later. He finally reached out back in April. You know, he apologized. He said he got in an accident, and obviously he's self-employed, so he hasn't had any money coming in, which is understandable. But he said, you know, he doesn't have enough money for the pair of them. He has enough money for the bike right now, and he was planning on just unloading the bike so he could recoup some of his money. But here it is, May 20th, and I haven't heard from him in probably a month or so, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, somewhere around there. I was planning on having him just pick up both machines, pay me the $1,200 on this, and having him, that's his daughter's machine. So obviously I want him to get that thing back, but I was just going to have him pick up both machines, even though he said he was only going to pick this up. Pay me for this, pay me for that down the road sometime, and at least I get some of my money back. You know, get my parts money back anyways out of this thing. But I haven't heard from him, like I said, in about 3–4 weeks, and I've sent him quite a few messages. It's on Facebook Messenger, so you you know they look at it. I'm guessing either the buyer that was interested in this thing kind of fell through, or he doesn't have the money anymore. And it's, you know, it's an unfortunate thing. You know, stuff happens, but it is what it is. So anyways, if he does still want to sell this, which I think he did, if anybody's interested, it's right here. Now, one thing I've been thinking about, he owes me like $1,800 for the pair of these things, right? Well, he wanted more for this thing, but he wanted $2,500 minimum. So I was thinking, well, maybe I could do some, give him a little money, but I really don't have the extra cash to throw in. You know, he could get the four-wheeler back. I toss him, what, $700 extra, but I just don't have it. But it is a good running bike. I mean, we'll go ahead and fire it up and you can listen to it. If the battery wasn't weak, it's a good running bike. Oh, we got some deer out in the field. this isn't all we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and I'll show you some of the new projects I got, some of the stuff coming up, a little update video to the channel. He does have a brand new seat, he said. I think he paid something stupid, $500, $600, $700 for the seat. It's a custom 2 or 3 tone seat to match the colors on this thing. Go ahead and boost that, and then she should fire up. There she goes. Great sounding bike, V4. It's a little cold. Now one thing it does need is a set of tires. The front aren't horrible. Now really the tires should have been changed when we had that off, but I didn't have anything to balance them with, so he didn't want to do it at the time. And but I'm kind of glad I didn't now, because that would have been more money I invested into this thing. But there she is. I don't know if, like I said, if anybody's interested, help that guy out, help me out. Like I said, I think he wanted $2,500. I don't think he wants more than that, but I think that's what he would let it go for. I don't think that thing's for sale. Like I said, it's his daughter's. I wouldn't sell it if it was me. If you've been watching the channel, the last video I posted was the 1985 Honda ATC 250R that needed an engine job. Anyways, the owner did want it bored out, so that was good, and I just went and picked it up today. New Wisco piston set. Fresh bore. Beautiful. Now I gotta get that thing back together. I just picked this machine up. This is a 2006, I think, Arctic Cat 650 V2. Talk about this thing in a minute. I had some people asking, hey, I found another channel that's called Rocks Projects that's showing some videos that I haven't seen on here. Is that your channel or is that somebody else's channel? Well, it is my channel. I started a new channel to do, I've thrown some older videos on there for now that never made it to this YouTube channel. However, in the future, what I'm planning on doing is some custom projects that I've been wanting to do. I just don't know if it really fits on this channel. So if you guys think you might like that, you can go ahead and check that channel out. If not, I completely understand. We'll keep doing ATV repairs on this channel. But yeah, I just picked this up. I paid $600 for it, and I went into it knowing that it had a bad frame. It's been welded before up front here. As you can see, it's been welded. Also, it's got some welded on braces right there. If we lift this seat off of here, it's also been welded here, and it's cracked and it's been welded. So the frame's a little on the iffy side here. I don't know if I'd trust it. Also on the back side, there's another crack going on right here. But I didn't buy this thing to fix it up. I bought it for parts. So $600 I thought was a decent deal for it. It's got some nice rims, and the tires are not bad. They're Bear Claw tires. You know, some of the plastic's been patched up and whatnot, but it's got the 650 V-twin Kawasaki engine. Now this thing wasn't running. It wasn't firing is what I was told. I didn't really even look at it. I just knew hopefully that engine's good. So I went through, I ended up, he had some wires that were spliced in here running up to this ignition switch. It was just a mess. I think I cut I cut that old ignition off, and he actually tapped into the wiring harness on this thing. So I ended up just splicing into it temporarily just to see if it would run. So I did that. I got ignition back, and I got it turning over, kind of. Sometimes you got to jump the solenoid, but it still wouldn't fire up. I ended up checking the front plug, and I had fire, so I was like, okay, what's going on? Dumped gas down the carburetor, the air box in here, and it wouldn't fire up. I thought it sounded like it was popping, like trying to, but it just wouldn't start. So I looked to the back here, no fire. I looked at the coil. It's a little different now, but it had a huge crack in here. So I came over and stole this one because this, even though it's a different style, this is a Arctic Cat 650 V-twin. I think this is an 04. Now, this thing actually ran good. I picked this up a while ago, but and I got this for a pretty good deal. But it did run. However, this thing is pretty crunchy. I mean, everything is rusty. You think that frame's bad on that one? This one is way worse. Even the racks up here are bad. I mean, these are still solid. They're usable. But if we look down here, the A-arm rotted right off. And I think on the backside, the frame is rotted off on that point. But just, it's so bad. I mean, I wouldn't trust it. But I did hear this thing start up, and I wasn't able to drive it, obviously, because of the front tire. But I did hear it run, and it sounds great. Now, these engines are the same as the Kawasaki Brute Force engines. The Brute Force 650, that is, not the 750. But my plan for this one was to switch everything over to this one because this has a very solid frame and it's in great shape. I know it's been in the bushes here, but there is a piece of plywood under it. It's just been growing up. But this was the same thing, 650 V-twin. This had a bad engine. I paid $1,500 for this, but I got a set of nice Arctic Cat tracks with it, and I had a different Arctic Cat at the time. That's why I bought this, mainly for the tracks. So I stole the tracks off of this, put it on my other machine, ended up selling that one. But now I still have this one, and we got a good frame. So I was going to swap everything from the rotted frame one over to this thing, and then have a nice machine. I just haven't got to it yet. But even between this one and the rotted frame one, I don't have a good set of wheels because those things are rotted over there. As you can see, they're pretty tender. Pretty tender indeed. So that's why I bought that new 05 Arctic Cat 650, because it had a good set of wheels on it. I'm going to use those on that one, and I'm hoping it has a good engine. I know I got to get this stuff moved. I just haven't yet. The grass is starting to grow up here, and it's time to move some stuff around. Now, obviously, $600 is too much to pay for just a good set of wheels, but I'm hoping that engine's good, because if that engine's good, it's coming out of there, and it's going in this Brute Force 650i. This has a completely trashed engine. I did get it running, but the thing is knocking so bad. I mean, it's bad. It's definitely got some bad connecting rods, crankshaft on the bottom. So I was hoping that new one would have a good engine for this thing. But it was taking a gamble because I hadn't heard it run. I just knew it wasn't firing, or that's what the guy told me anyways. So it was a gamble for $600, but let's go check it out. This thing was low on oil, which made me a little nervous, but I filled it up and then I tried to start it. As I had said, I got it firing. I put that coil on there and I got both plugs firing. Get that out of there. That's new. There was a bunch of leaves and crap on here that I removed already, and now there's, looks like a mouse and some more leaves up there. Must be it got sucked in through the air intake. That's yummy stuff here. Alright, well, we'll get that out of there. But the reason I'm removing this is because my choke doesn't work. It's froze up and it just doesn't work. So this is my new ignition switch. This doesn't do anything. So what I gotta do is come in here with my hand, block off the carburetor so it sucks fuel in. Try to get both of them. She's a runner. Go ahead and get this back in here. Need a new filter, but I'm gonna put that on there for now. Yeah, I can still see some more stuff up in there. Probably gonna get sucked up in, but I can't go past the filter. Snap that. Now, when I first heard it up, I was a little nervous because you can hear some noise in here. But I've dealt with enough of these Kawasaki V-twin engines to 90% sure that it's just chain noise. So we'll remove it. These things have 4 different timing chains in them. Well, 3 timing chains and an oil chain at the bottom. So it's got to come apart. There's definitely some oil leaks, a little bit of everywhere in this thing. So I'm going to I'll probably pull everything apart, replace all the gaskets, all the seals, and then it should be fine. But it runs pretty good. One thing I really like about these 650 engines they really like the wheelie low range anyways. Yeah, as you're getting warmed up, you can hear that chain noise a little more. Like I said, I'm 90% sure that's what it is. I do know there's something going on with the clutching as you put it in gear and she just wants to take off. So yeah, there's that, but that's not a huge deal. Now, if this was a Polaris and did that, I would say it's probably the one-way bearing in the clutch. However, this is a Kawasaki engine, and they don't have those one-way bearings. So I'm guessing there's either some junk in there or the belt is way too tight, because these things you need to shim the secondary clutches to get the right belt deflection. But yeah, it should be a fun project. Definitely glad I picked it up, and the 600 bucks was well worth it. The cranks for these things are big money, so we'll see when we tear it apart, but I think it's good. Anyways, hopefully some of you guys enjoyed this little update video, and I gotta get back to work.